Alright guys, so today's video we're going to be comparing two products because if you guys remember a few weeks ago I reviewed the Rolfstone Focus, which was a noise cancelling pair of headphones that had some really impressive features, especially the 100 hours of battery life. It had noise cancelling and I felt like for the price it was a really good value. But in the comment section I noticed a lot of people were saying, wait a minute, that's the Tronsmart Apollo Q10s. They had seen that somebody else had reviewed them recently and said they looked identical, they had a lot of the same features, they were just calling them a clone. And I definitely went to go look it up and saw, yeah, they look almost exactly the same. In fact, they did look exactly the same. But I wanted to keep an open mind because I see this all the time with reviewing products that, we get a lot of products that look absolutely identical to another. And first, before we get into everything else, I want to explain why this is even possible. If you're a company and you design a product, most of the time you have to get a lawyer, you have to go through the patent process. You want to make sure that that design belongs to you. Now, that is a very costly process. It kind of just rolls into the cost of the product itself. And there's some times where you don't go through that process. You just design a product, you release it, and then that's kind of it. So sometimes that leaves an open door for another company to come in and actually use the same exact design that you did. You don't own that design. It just makes it to where it's kind of open for anybody. So other companies can use the exact same design, sometimes use the exact same guts inside of a product. So battery life will be the same. Charging will be the same. All the buttons will be located in the exact same spot. So yes, it can be very confusing to see two identical products that may actually be different. So what I wanted to do was get the Apollo Q10s and compare them side by side to the Rolfstone Focus to see what are the differences and if there's any at all. So we're going to do that today. I do want to say that there is one huge difference. I am going to save this till the end of the video because it is a big deciding factor. And I don't want it to skew anybody's thought process throughout comparing these two items. But let's go ahead and start with the packaging. If you pick up the packaging on both of these, you will immediately see that the Rolfstone Focus has more premium packaging. It's just a matte black with the text kind of being in a gloss black, where the Tronsmart just kind of looks like it's in a generic box. Now, it does have a picture of the product, but comparing them side by side, the Rolfstone looks like you're getting a more premium product. And now that same theme kind of rolls over to the carrying pouch and case that you get with the products, because in the Rolfstone Focus, you're getting a hard case. It kind of has like a leather feel to it. So for most people that travel, especially with noise canceling headphones, you'll know that having a hard case just makes you feel better about throwing your headphones in the bag. You feel like they're more protected. Where the Tronsmart is coming with a simple pouch. It's just a drawstring pouch. And really this is just kind of like a generic carrying case that comes with most headphones and most earbuds. I think they make these in like a ridiculous bulk and companies can slap their name on them. And it really kind of saves them a lot more money. Now the solution to this is if you go with the Apollo Q10s, obviously you can go on Amazon and pick up a hard case for about $13, $14. So it's not expensive to get a hard case if you do want to add that. But I did want to point out that that's already a noticeable difference. And then as far as any other accessories in the box, they both come with a USB-C cable. And now we need to talk about some of the specs and especially the battery life, because the battery life is what caught my attention on the Rolfstone Focus. It had 100 hours of battery life with the noise canceling off, but it even had 70 hours of battery life with the noise canceling on. That's very impressive, especially comparing them to other headphones in the market. But the Apollo Q10s also have that exact same spec. So you're getting the exact same battery life, and really the only difference is when it comes to fast charging. Because the fast charging on the Rolfstone Focus, you're going to get 2 hours of use from a 10-minute charge, but actually on the Apollo Q10s, you're going to get 3 hours of use on that same 10-minute charge. So that definitely gives the advantage to the Apollo Q10s when it comes to battery life, because everything else is the same and you're getting that additional hour out of the fast charge. Now, they both have 40mm drivers, they both use Bluetooth 5.0, and they are both AAC and SBC compatible. So there's no aptX on either one of these. So really, we just need to look at the headphones themselves. And yes, they are exactly identical. It's the same build quality, the same materials, the buttons are laid out in the exact same place, the charging port is in the exact same place. Even inside the ear cups, they're using the same font to show you the left and the right inside the ear cup. As far as the controls on both of these, they both use touch controls. They're both located in the exact same place, and they both do the exact same thing. So you do have control over everything. The only difference in that is the logo where you're going to be touching, because one has the Rolfstone logo where the other one has the Tronsmart logo. And really the only other difference design-wise is on the top of the headband, Tronsmart decided to put their name at the top of the headband, where Rolfstone just left it blank. So everything is exactly the same. Really, the only difference is the Apollo Q10s actually has an extra microphone. So as far as noise canceling and ambient mode, which they both have, you do get an additional microphone with the Apollo Q10s. But I do want to say, as far as noise canceling goes, I still preferred the noise canceling out of the Rolfstone Focus. I felt like it still seemed to block out a little bit better on the higher frequencies. Now they are very, very similar. Again, I would just give the slight advantage to the Rolfstone Focus. I think the noise canceling on both of these are excellent, especially given their price tag, because most noise canceling headphones are expensive, and then cheaper noise canceling headphones don't generally tend to block out a lot of the noise around you. So I was impressed with both of these. I also think the ambient mode on both are very, very similar. It does a really good job at being able to hear your surroundings. I think with both of these, you have no issues carrying on a conversation without taking the headphones off. So they both deliver when it comes to that. Now, speaking of the microphones, a lot of you guys are going to be curious to how well they do for phone calls. Now, luckily, this is another area that I think they both excel at, where I will give the slight advantage, in my opinion, to the Apollo Q10s. I don't know if having that one additional microphone is making that much more of a difference, but I noticed that it did sound a little bit clearer. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test of both of them here. All right, guys, so here is a quick mic test so that way you can hear what the Rolfstone Focus sounds like. Overall, I think it does a really good job of picking up my voice, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is the mic test using the Q10s, and I wanted to do this so you can hear both of them kind of side by side, but this is what the Q10s would sound like if you were to use them for a phone call. Now, the only thing left is to talk about the sound. And in my opinion, this is the most important thing. This, I also believe, is what separates these headphones. But again, it's still not the biggest factor, which we're going to talk about right after we talk about the sound. Now, the sound on both of these, you're getting two different sound signatures. So it definitely fell into that where one company is tuning it a little bit different than the other, because I felt like the Apollo Q10s were definitely warmer. I felt like the bass was punchier. So if you're a bass head, I would definitely kind of lean you in the direction of the Apollo Q10s, but I actually preferred the sound from the Rolfstone Focus. I felt like it was a little cleaner. I felt like the sound stage was a little bit more open. Now, it does not have the bass impact that the Apollo Q10s have. So again, if you just prefer bass over anything else, I would not lean you in the direction of the Rolfstone Focus. But here is another huge difference between the two. If you want to adjust the sound and tweak it and things like that, the Apollo Q10s actually have an app that Tronsmart has made. So there are EQ settings in those. You can tweak it. You can get a little bit more bass if you want, a little bit more treble. You can tone some of it down. And even though you can switch between those different things, I still felt like the Q10s didn't get as bright as the Rolfstone Focus. So I have to interrupt this video because this is very interesting. At this point of the video, I'm talking about Tronsmart's app and how it works with the Q10s. Well, come to find out, and somebody even in the comment section of the original Rolfstone video left that the Rolfstone Focus is recognized by Tronsmart's app. So I didn't think that was possible, and I went and tested it, and yes, Tronsmart's app recognizes the other company's headphones as their own. And although they don't sound the same, you still can use the EQ settings of the Tronsmart app to EQ the Rolfstone Focus. So I wanted to add this into the video because anything else I say in the rest of the video regarding the app, you might have to dismiss because now it actually works with both headphones. So now we're gonna jump back into the video, and this is where we start to talk about the huge difference in the price tag. The Rolfstone Focus, like I said, when I went through the purchasing process with tax and shipping and all that stuff, for me came up to $188. Now, I felt like it's still a really good value when you're gonna compare them to Sony and Bose and some of the other high-end noise canceling headphones. But the Apollo Q10s, which you can buy on AliExpress, you can pick them up for 58 bucks. So price-wise, you can pick up 3 of the Apollo Q10s for the price of 1 of the Rolfstone Focus. So yes, the Rolfstone Focus does come with a hard case. It does have slightly better noise canceling, and I actually prefer the sound signature on these, but that huge price gap is just going to immediately make a lot of people's minds up because a lot of people make decisions based off their wallet and their pocketbook. I mean, that is a huge price gap where I feel like you're still getting a very similar experience with the Apollo Q10s. Some people are just going to prefer them because of the bass and because they work with an app where you have different EQ settings. So I think competition is really good, and this is why, because it gives people options. But I did want to do a video comparing both of these so that we can see, is there actually a difference between the two headphones? Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.